Something just exploded deep inside Russia, and this time it wasn't a random fire or a drone strike gone wrong. It was a precision Ukrainian strike that turned one of Russia's most important military facilities into ashes. The Oreshnik complex, the very site Putin once bragged about, has been blown up. And what's even more shocking, Kyiv's security service, the SBU, and President Zelensky himself have just confirmed it. This wasn't an accident, it was revenge. A direct response to Russia's brutal missile assault on Ukraine's energy grid just 2 days ago. What's happening right now inside Russia's borders has never been seen before. And tonight, we're going to break down exactly how Ukraine pulled this off, what it means for the Russian war machine, and why this might be the beginning of something far bigger. 2 nights ago, an enormous explosion ripped through the Oreshnik facility, one of Russia's largest and most vital power and defense installations. Flames rose hundreds of meters into the sky, visible for miles. Russian channels initially went silent. Then came the blackout. Entire sections of the surrounding region went dark. Homes, industrial zones, and even nearby substations. At first, Russian state media claimed it was a technical malfunction. But that story didn't last long. Within hours, multiple videos appeared online showing a clear missile strike, a massive impact, followed by secondary explosions. And that's when Ukrainian officials confirmed it. The strike was deliberate. Oreshnik wasn't just any building. It was part of a key logistical chain that powered military systems and operations across several Russian regions. Destroying it wasn't symbolic, it was strategic. This strike was Ukraine's answer to Russia's earlier attack on the Ladizhin thermal power plant in Ukraine, one of the country's largest energy hubs. Moscow had launched hypersonic Kinzhal missiles, weapons typically reserved for high-value military targets, against civilian infrastructure. So Kyiv sent its message back to Neptune. The missile that hit Oreshnik wasn't a drone or a simple cruise missile. It was a long-range upgraded Neptune, a homegrown Ukrainian weapon originally designed as an anti-ship missile, but now modified to strike land targets up to 1,000 kilometers away. The precision of the attack stunned analysts. The Neptune flew deep into Russian territory, evading multiple layers of air defense, and hit the target dead center. This confirmed what many had suspected. Ukraine now possesses the capability to hit strategic Russian facilities from far beyond the front line. And that's exactly what Kyiv wanted to prove. For months, Russia had assumed that its distance and depth gave it safety, that Ukraine's strikes could only reach the border regions. But Oreshnik changed that belief overnight. According to reports, the explosion triggered chain blackouts across multiple Russian villages, including the Vladimir region. Substations went offline, transformers caught fire, and sparks lit up the night sky. Videos showed glowing fireballs followed by pitch darkness, a symbol of how quickly Russia's confidence can turn into chaos. Even more humiliating for Moscow, Russia now faces serious problems sourcing the spare parts needed to repair these critical systems. Decades of sanctions have crippled their ability to maintain large-scale electrical infrastructure. And every time they fix one, Ukraine hits another. At a briefing in Kyiv, the head of Ukraine's security service, Vasyl Malyuk, revealed another astonishing detail. Ukraine has begun using a new generation of indigenous missiles codenamed Flamingo. So far, 9 of these missiles have been launched at Russian infrastructure. Malyuk acknowledged that only a few have successfully penetrated Russian defenses, but that's not the full story. Flamingo is still under development, still being refined. It's Ukraine's prototype of tomorrow, a missile that could eventually rival the American Tomahawk in range and agility. However, early tests show challenges. Flamingo is larger and easier for Russian radar to detect compared to the ultra-nimble Tomahawk. Footage of Flamingo debris found in Russian fields has already circulated online. But Ukrainian engineers aren't stopping there. Work is underway to improve its navigation and flight pattern systems, making it more unpredictable, harder to intercept, and more devastating on impact. And that's where Neptune stands out. Smaller, smarter, and incredibly accurate. The Neptune missiles have proven their effectiveness not only against ships like the Moskva, but now against critical Russian infrastructure far beyond the battlefield. Zelensky knows the stakes. That's why he's calling on allies for Tomahawks, not just to fill the gap, but to multiply Ukraine's precision strike capability tenfold. If Flamingo becomes what it's meant to be, Russia's interior, once considered untouchable, will become a battlefield of its own. During the same briefing, Malyuk revealed something else that stunned analysts. Russia has lost nearly half, 48%, of its Panzer S-1 air defense systems. Drone footage from Crimea and other occupied territories confirms this. Ukrainian operators have destroyed radar units, missile launchers, and Panzers one by one. Russian attempts to produce replacements have failed to keep up with the losses. They can only manufacture a few dozen per year, but Ukraine destroys them almost as fast as they roll off the assembly line. This means Russia's air shield is cracking open. Each destroyed Panzer leaves a hole in the defensive network, making subsequent Ukrainian strikes even easier. The war has turned into a deadly loop. The more Russia defends, the weaker its defenses become. And in an even more daring move, Ukrainian special forces reportedly captured one of Russia's Oreshnik systems near a launch site in Kapustin Yar, deep inside Russia itself. Though footage hasn't yet been released, the SBU chief confirmed the operation, a sabotage mission, on Russian soil. President Zelensky later confirmed that Ukraine was responsible for a series of secret operations against Russia's so-called untouchable missile systems. He revealed that the strike on the Oreshnik site was not an isolated event, but part of a broader campaign that began last summer, when explosions rocked Russia's launch facility at Kapustin Yar, halting Putin's public bragging about new strategic missiles. Zelensky hinted that Ukrainian intelligence had been working behind the scenes for months, mapping out Russian launch sites, command centers, and infrastructure targets far beyond the front lines. The goal was simple: to show that Russia's war could no longer be fought from the comfort of distance. That's why the Ukrainian president boldly declared that more surprises are coming, operations that will strike not just military positions, but the very foundations of Russia's war machine. Ukraine's intelligence units also confirmed the capture of two advanced Russian radar and air defense systems, the Buk M3 and the Nebo radar system, both seized inside the Rostov region, inside Russia. These captures aren't just trophies, they're blueprints. Every component, every chip, every signal captured gives Ukraine's engineers valuable data to jam, mimic, or destroy Russian systems more effectively. For Moscow, this is a nightmare. Their most advanced radar technology, compromised. Their ability to detect incoming missiles degraded. It's no longer just about battlefield victories. Ukraine is waging an asymmetric technological war, and Russia is losing ground fast. While Russian bloggers bragged about encircling Ukrainian forces near Pokrovsk, reality tells a different story. According to Zelensky and the Ukrainian command, there's no encirclement. Russian claims of massive breakthroughs are pure propaganda. Ukrainian drone units still control key supply routes, cutting off Russian logistics and ambushing reinforcements. In the northern sectors near Konstantinovka, fighting remains fierce but fluid. Ukrainian units have counterattacked, regaining small but vital positions that keep Russian advances at bay. In other directions, Ukrainian aviation used JDAM precision bombs to obliterate a Russian command post, a direct hit that eliminated dozens of officers. The charred wreckage of the site became another reminder that no command center, no matter how deep inside Russian lines, is truly safe anymore.